Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Here we are again at the Autopsy Simulator. The last episode, we found out that Jack's apartment was broken into. Somebody stole his wad of cash. We called Steven. He works for the police. We told him all about it. And yeah, let's see what happens with that. Let's go.
That's enough. I need to quickly change and finish getting ready.
You got your shoes on still? You sleep in your shoes, right? Yep. He must be. Pretty stinky feet. Still got our spaghetti over there? Yep. Yeah, I should really clean this place. Oh, what were you sleeping on? Okay, let's get dressed. That's still there. That's still gone, right? Yeah, still gone. Okay. Okay, is anything in here? Okay. All right.
I'm gonna be late for work again.
Well, you're the only one there, so does it really matter? Didn't even
Got my keys, got my files. Check.
didn't even shower. Just okay. You can't close that. Okay. No shower. Just put on clean clothes and get to work. Right? Okay. Fair enough.
Oh yeah, I should take my pills.
Oh yeah, of course. Okay. Fresh. It's the greatest brand. Toothpaste. Fresh.
I feel like it takes me forever to finish these things. Time to go.
Time to go.
Remember to close the door properly, Jack.
Yeah, you lock it?
I'll ask the neighbors tomorrow if they saw anything suspicious.
Okay, I asked you before. Can you lock it? Okay, we're not locking it, so if anything happens again, this is on you. Okay. What? Did you guys hear that? What was that?
I wonder if Ridley fixed the coffee machine.
It sounded like someone took a dump. Fell in the toilet. Psh, okay. Okay. Let's go to the floor level. There's that spirit again. Nothing to do here. I definitely hit floor level. So why would it take me here? Okay. Took me. What? Welcome home. Yeah, I definitely hit floor. So why would it hit level 4? Yeah. Why's it? Hmm. Oh boy. Okay. It's not working. Let's just go all the way downstairs, I guess. The elevator's on the fritz. Oh, geez. That thing. That thing. The movie based on Eddie Robinson's bestseller. I'm guessing that is, is a call to the movie It, probably. I would guess. Oh, that's not creepy at all. Okay. What's this? Yeah. Very creepy apartments. Let's see if we can't just walk all the way down. Okay. Alright. What's over here? We can go this way? Who lives in that RV? That's weird. What the? Okay. I hope you guys are still enjoying this game. But we all like to see what's gonna happen to dear old Jack, right? His story, how it unfolds.
Maybe a bit optimistic. I'd better grab a coffee on the way.
Okay. Where are we going? Dunkin', Starbucks, or some other off-brand?
I'm exhausted.
Aren't we all, Jack?
Stephen brought in today.
Aren't we all? Okay. Alright.
Good morning, Mr. Ridley. No, he's not here yet? No, I'll do without him.
Like his chair was moving for a second.
I hope he... Oh, come on. He was
What?
too lazy to even wheel the gurney to the autopsy room.
Oh. Right. Okay. What? Who's laughing? Who's laughing at me?
Almost there. Now for the tough part. The body needs to be moved.
Right.
Where's Ridley when you need him?
Okay. Right. Move the body. Okay.
Alright. I just need some gloves and my apron. Then I can get to work.
Okie dokie. Can we not get the... Okay. Let's get the apron first. Okay. Let's go.
I'm going to need my tape recorder for this.
Where is it? What? Why isn't it in here? And what's this? Briefcase. Oh. This?
Autopsy dated November 22nd, 1991. 7:32 p.m. Led by Dr. Jack Hanman. I begin by verifying the identity of the Jane Doe.
Jane Doe, okay.
It's most likely Harper Lloyd, age 35, found in a well-owned house by her neighbors Leonard and Dorothy Chelsea, reported missing for a week.
I thought you said Jane Doe, so it's John Doe? Okay. Huh.
Firefighters found the body after the Chelsea family began complaining that their tap water tasted strange, and at one point had begun to smell and turn a dark color.
Ew. Is that poopy water? Bipolar disorder, okay.
It is also known that the deceased was diagnosed with affective bipolar disorder. Harper was placed on drug therapy, which she dropped out of fairly regularly. During her treatment, she was under the care of her common-law partner, Richard Benson, professional truck driver.
So, Lloyd, is that a woman? Is that a woman or a guy? It says F, female. I'm so confused. Okay. Okay.
Police records also show that Mrs. Lloyd was in constant conflict with her neighbors. The constant parties and subsequent brawls made living in the area nearly impossible, especially when Lloyd's partner wasn't around.
I do apologize if you guys hear banging in the background. Yeah.
The last person who had contact with the deceased was her partner. Harper's last message read as follows: "I'm gonna take a shit in their stupid well. Then we'll see who has the last laugh." Nice one.
And then she fell into the well after taking a shite in their well. Okay.
I proceed to open the bag and check the state of decomp. The most important task in forensic identification of a drowned person is to distinguish whether the death occurred before or after entering the water.
All right. Okie dokie. Oh,
Okay,
goodness.
that could have been worse. I
Oh,
carefully
boy.
removed the victim's clothes so as not to damage the skin.
Okay.
The deceased was found fully clothed. One shoe is missing. I'm going to need the camera to document all possible suspicious marks.
Wow. Okay.
Definitely the first thing that stands out is the very advanced post-mortem gigantism.
Okay. Um. Okay, I don't see. Oh, there we go. Where was that at? Okay.
The skin of the deceased appears very delicate, smooth, and relaxed from being in the water for a long time. The whole body is extremely pale.
And bloated. Huh. Okay, now we got, oh, 6. We got 6 things to look at. Okay.
The so-called washerwoman's skin on the feet. The deceased had indeed been in the water for a long time.
Okay.
The skin on the hands can be easily separated from the body. The separation takes the form of a glove.
Hmm. Weird.
There are bruises and hemorrhages on the neck. These usually occur due to increased inhalation when fighting to breathe underwater.
Hmm. Okay.
There are some obvious scratches on the skin.
Huh, what's that? Hmm.
Post-mortem markings are seen on the underside of the body. That is, on the back, thighs, and calves of the deceased.
One more picture, right? Okay.
It's likely that the deceased was lying on her back when she was fished out.
Hmm. Okay.
So, after the preliminary exam, it's time to take a closer look at this.
Okay. Alright. Perform the autopsy. Right.
Today's date, the deceased was clothed. Rigor mortis does not need to be checked. Based on the state of decay, you can be sure it has subsided.
She's only 58 pounds? Jeez. Inspect the area is concerned. Okay. Oh, right. Magnifying glass. My bad. Okay,
Where to
dokie.
start?
The mouth, I presume, right?
We see thick white foam in the mouth of the deceased, resulting
Yeah.
from pulmonary edema. Foam is a characteristic in deaths due to drowning.
Fair enough. Okay.
There are obvious scratches on the skin, especially on the back and hands. These could be defensive wounds, evidence of some sort of altercation prior to death.
And I apologize if anybody's squeamish and looking at this.
The spots have a purplish blue-red hue, which is a typical sign of the death of the organism.
Okay.
Yep, pretty typical. Liver mortis are formed as a result of putrefaction of blood in the veins.
Hmm. It's always the feet.
Due to the fact that the deceased was wearing shoes all the
Oh,
time,
my
her
gosh.
feet are in better condition than her hands. Nevertheless, we can still notice a clear, wavy skin and the so-called washerwoman's skin texture.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, boy.
No obvious signs of struggle. The skin on the hands would have easily peeled away from the flesh. Some of the fingers have already lost their nails. Okay. That's probably enough to indicate it. I'd better note that down in the records.
Okay, so
Marks found on the neck and foaming at the mouth are typical signs of drowning people.
Okay. Mushroom of foam coming out of the mouth. Pulmonary edema. Okay.
Those abrasions appear relatively fresh. No healing or scarring is visible.
No signs of wound healing. Huh, interesting.
There doesn't seem to be anything unusual about this livor mortis.
Okay. Save some room, man. You got a lot of writing.
Hands heavily wrinkled from submersion in water. Typical washerwoman skin. Diffuse spots are caused by blood rotting in the veins.
Okay.
Considering the deceased's penchant for drinking alcohol, it could have been a mere accident.
Could have been. Okay, so highlight and consider each wound from marks and wounds. Okay, so...
In this case, the question is, was drowning an accident or of suicidal intent?
Or murder? You could say that. Okay.
Maybe it's just abrasion, or maybe the result of a fight and being pushed into a well.
Yeah, there you go.
Fortunately, the skin on the hands didn't fall off. Otherwise, I'd have trouble identifying the deceased. Their distribution suggests that the victim was probably lying on her back when fished out of the water. Livor mortis of a different color could indicate poisoning with carbon monoxide, cyanides, or nitrates. However, this is not the case here. A simple trip, loss of balance, and as a result, you end up in a deep hole with no way out. That's all for now. Before I begin the dissection, I'll make sure the suggested identity is correct.
Oh, take the appropriate tool from suitcase and form fingerprint. Oh, okay. Okay. So what do we need? Okay, so we need...
The suitcase with the fingerprint equipment should be around here somewhere.
What? Oh, over here. Okay. That's what the suitcase is, right.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, here it is. Okay, so... Okay.
With decomposing bodies, the tissue of the pads and the fingers tends to shrink. To remove these shrinkages, a mixture of glycerin or air is used.
Okay.
If the body of the deceased is well preserved, fingerprinting is similar to that of a living person. The fingerprint sheet should always be checked. Slipping fingers, too much or too little ink, or inaccurate hand position can make fingerprints illegible.
Great. No pressure, right? Okay. So let's, return, yeah, okay. Looks like she was pregnant, too, but that might just be from the water consumption.
I'm going to conduct a dactyloscopic examination. If
A
in
what?
fact the deceased is in the police database, I will find her.
The dactyl? What?
Glycerin is injected successively between the nail and the skin of each finger. The substance then enters the fingertip, removing shrinkage and wrinkles.
Interesting. Wow, look at that. Weird. Okay. I had no idea this actually happened. Interesting. Gross, but interesting.
Now I take a brush.
Okay.
Only when the skin is taut and elastic can you use ink.
Okay.
I think it's enough. I'm getting fingerprint samples.
Okay.
In the case of drowning victims, you have to be extremely careful. The skin may fall off the hand like a glove when you take the print.
Oh boy. Okay. Did I do it? Okay. Leave the
I'll
court.
use the fax machine to add the print into the system.
Fax machine. This? That's not a fax machine. Do we have a fax machine in here? My office? Okay. Take the fingerprint you just collected. Right there? Yeah. Okay. Send fingerprints to Steven using the fax machine. Um. Okay, right here.
Green button and
Send. Green
once the data
button.
uploads, I'll run the prints against the police database on the computer.
Okay. Do I take it? Compare fingerprints. Okay. Oh, we're using the computer finally.
Great. The data is there. Click upload.
Look
Now,
at that.
go through the database and find a matching print. Expect possible hours of fun.
This one. Drag all compares. Okay. Okay. Hmm. I mean,
One more.
it looks the same, right?
Analyze button. And we have a result.
Yay.
Everyone has a story to tell.
Yes, they
Even if
do.
it's just a police record.
Yes, they do.
So, as predicted, the deceased turned out to be Harper Lloyd. That went smoothly. I'll print this out and attach it to the medical records.
So let's see. Death 9:30, 99. Disorderly conduct, aggressive behavior under the influence of alcohol. Fined for that. Okay. Disorderly conduct, nuisance and vandalism. Warning. A warning ticket. Disorderly conduct, aggressive behavior, nuisance and vandalism. Warning again. Disorderly, no nuisance, aggressive behavior under the influence of alcohol. Fined for that, and low-level shoplifting. She was fined. Okay, yeah, she gets a lot of warning tickets. Participation, petty theft, and disorderly conduct. Participation in a fight under the influence of drugs. Okay, wow. Okay, we printed that. Where is it at? Read the results at the fax machine. Oh, okay.
Great. Now I can go back to my inspection.
Yeah. Huh, she don't seem like a very good person. So why'd the weight say 58 when I wrote it down, but her weight is actually 163? Oh, right then? Sure. Okay. Guys, I'm just waiting for this body to spring up and smack me in the face. Okay. All right. Hopefully that don't
I'm
happen.
adding the name of the deceased. I'll start the internal examination by taking fluid from the victim's brain. A needle inserted through the nose will do the trick.
Ah, her name is Harper Lloyd, not Lloyd Harper. Duh. Okay. And where's that at? Syringe? Yeah, that's what we use, right?
If the victim was alive when she fell into the well, she must have swallowed water fighting for her life, and then diatoms, characteristics of pooled water like a well, got into the body.
Ew. Okay. Use the microscope to verify presence
In the
of...
meantime, I'll check the sample under the microscope. I'm
Okay.
sure that these algae traces will be found in the samples taken from the well where police found the body.
Guys, playing this game today, just it's grossing me out for some reason. Probably the fact that she's waterlogged. It's weird. Okay.
Now I need to adjust the knobs properly.
Oh.
And place the diatom in the center of the slide. Diatoms are single-celled microscopic algae. It's not a dirty lens, I'm afraid. And perfect.
Perfect? Really? Okay.
The
Brightness?
aperture still needs adjustment. The image is too dark.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it bright. Okay, that should be...
I'm finally starting to see something here.
Okay. Can we...
Wait. This way I'll see if I'm dealing with a large concentration of these algae.
Can we focus more? No.
It's not a dirty lens, I'm afraid, but rather a bad focus. Nah. Oh, I'm finally starting to see something here.
Okay.
And perfect.
Perfect. Okay. Let's look around then. Oh, boy. What are we looking for exactly? Algae? A lot of stuff moving around. Okay. Can focus.
I won't even notice an army of diatoms from this distance.
Okay, no.
Great.
Great.
This way I'll see if I'm dealing with a large concentration of these algae.
Great. Okay. Okay, use the
As
microscope.
expected,
Okay.
we find the aforementioned algae in the solution. Their
Hmm.
upper part, Epitheca, which overlaps the lower, Hypotheca, is clearly visible.
Right. Okay.
The presence of diatoms in the brain samples taken indicate that the deceased was certainly alive when she fell into the water and
Oh,
was
jeez.
possibly conscious.
Sounds painful. Guys, I apologize for all the sounds in the background. I hope that's not a problem. They seem to be quiet. Things in the background seem to be quiet now, so hopefully stay that way.
Since there were diatoms in the brain, it means that many more of them must have entered the body. Studies of the rest of the organs will most likely confirm this hypothesis.
Okay. All right.
I can finally get to the practical part.
Yeah, right. Practical part.
I must be extra careful because the skin of the deceased is very stretched. I wouldn't want an explosion here.
Yeah, no, I don't want that either. Huh. Now, do we actually have to be careful, or is that just something you said? Okay. Maybe. Ooh. It's not cutting very good. Yeah, bloated stomach. That wouldn't be good. Splashed in the face. Okay. Okay. With an empty hand. Yeah, okay. Please,
You can
please.
immediately see a very large swelling of the organs. In addition, all internal organs are very congested. I proceed to remove the rib cage.
Yeah, please stay asleep. Don't wake up.
It's easy to see that the ribs have been imprinted on the lungs. So, I'm going to start by drawing blood from the lungs for testing for diatoms.
Okay.
If diatoms were only present in the lungs, this would mean that the victim was placed in the well after death, and the perpetrator wanted to get rid of the corpse in this way.
Oh, okay. Huh. Right.
Now, I remove the lungs and proceed to their examination. Taking the lungs in my hand, I feel that the tissues have lost their elasticity, which is the result of water emphysema. In addition, there is significant swelling of the organs, and as a result, we have a nice imprint of the ribs. The emphysema itself, it's clear how far it's progressed, which is characteristic of drowning.
Wow. Okay. That's crazy. So we gotta mark that. Lung tissue lacking elasticity with advanced emphysema. Okay.
Corpses found in water are worth examining with a tomograph. However, I can't count on such luxuries, so I must reach for a more archaic technology. A bucket and water.
Locate bucket in the storage room. Perform the test. I don't like walking out of my examination room. Who knows what's gonna happen out here? Okay. Storage room. That's laboratory. What was that? Did you guys see that? Oh boy. Hello, who's that? Steven? Mr. Ridley?
Ooh, has anyone been here?
Yeah. Might have to take our pills again.
I hope no one dipped a mop in it. It's best to go to the lab for this.
He's just so calm. He's like, who's there? Who's there? And he's like, oh, I hope nobody put a mop in there. Okay. I wish I was that calm. After seeing somebody peeking around the corner. Okay, take the bucket to the lab sink. Okay. Lab sink or my sink? Yeah, okay. Well, there's well, that's not a mop, that was a broom.
Historically, the lung float test is used to detect infanticide.
Fantasizing? What? Okay. Oh, we're using warm water?
The water
Okay.
should be at room temperature. That's enough.
Oh, boy.
To test
Guys,
for this, I have to place the lungs in a container of water. This checks if there is air in the lungs. And speaking of lungs, everything is ready to bring them here.
Guys, I'm getting nervous. Okay. Hello? Okay. You're still sitting?
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Right.
Of course, such a study isn't without flaws. Air may have entered a newborn's airways during resuscitation attempts. Gases released during decomposition could also give a false result.
Does that explain her sitting up and staring right at us? Into our soul? Huh. Maybe. Okay. Ooh, jiggly. Okay.
In this case, however, it's about something else. Namely, the amount of fluid in the lungs.
Maybe that's why they're like jello, maybe.
To test for this, I have to place the lungs in a container of water and wait to see if they fall or if they will float on the surface.
Guys, I keep looking over there, thinking someone's gonna peek around again. Okay. How we do this again? Okay. Right. Floating. Sinking. Okay.
Just as I assumed, the lungs collapsed easily.
Take the lungs back to the autopsy room. Okay. Do you guys like your little soak? Yeah? Okay. Okay, let's go.
Fluid could have entered the lungs during panic attempts to catch breath in the water, but it could also be the result of bacterial infections or cancer, so further investigation is needed.
Okay. You're not gonna move again, are you? Please stay there. Okay.
I move on to dissecting the lungs of the deceased.
Right.
You can hear the distinct, very unpleasant crackling of the tissues being cut through. The parenchyma is remarkably pale, although small hemorrhagic foci and petechia are present on the surface.
Oh, okay.
All right. Now, I will check the collected fluid under a microscope. If we find 20 diatoms on the slide, it can be considered drowning, and our result is not false positive due to possible contaminations.
Okay. If you say so.
Let's see.
Again?
Although I expect we'll find them easily.
Let's do the brightness
The
first.
aperture still needs a... Oh, I'm finally starting to see something here. It's not... And perfect.
Okay. Zoom.
I won't even notice an army of diatoms from this distance.
I'm trying, okay?
Great. This way I'll see if I'm dealing with a large concentration of these algae.
Wait a minute. Use microscope to verify presence. What?
As
Oh boy.
expected. In solution, the diatoms are clearly visible. There are smaller and larger clusters of them. There will definitely be more than 20 of them.
Wow. Okay.
I'll make a note of all this.
Okay. Let's go back to Lloyd.
So
yeah.
far, this case looks pretty standard. It's clear from the beginning that it's drowning. Well, the procedure requires me to check everything anyway.
Harper's in it.
So, I move on to checking the other organs. I
Okay.
ligate the heart, and then remove it for inspection. Strongly developed putrefactic hemolysis, the organ can be seen at first glance. Apart from that, no signs of a heart attack or other heart disease.
Right. Okay. Heart without signs of disease. Strongly developed putrefactive hemolysis resulted from drowning.
I move on to the next organ.
I probably
This
butchered
time,
that.
it's the liver.
Yeah, I butchered that probably. Huh. Okay.
It's immediately apparent that the deceased didn't care for herself. Like most organs, her liver is enlarged and severely congested.
Mm-hmm.
The beginnings of cirrhosis are visible in some areas. I
Okay.
transfer the organ to a board and proceed to dissect.
Right. Okay. Huh.
The cross-section clearly shows dilated veins and
Hmm.
many small hemorrhagic foci.
Hemorrhagic foci.
I
Okay.
must admit that this is quite a feat,
Yeah.
considering the rather young age of the deceased.
Yeah. It's a shame.
Harper enjoyed drinking so much that she might not have lasted a few more years.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Close
I
the
move on
board.
to the stomach. I take a sample of the fluid for testing.
Okay then. That's how we check the stomach. We don't cut it, huh?
It looks very turbid. I'll see what happens after spinning, but that's in a moment. Now, I carefully ligate the organ, then cut it off.
Okay.
It's enlarged, probably full of putrid gases.
Boo.
I transfer it to the board and carefully open it, checking the contents.
Let's open up this fart bag, I guess. No disrespect. Okay.
One thing you'd never get used to is how much this desk smells.
I bet. I bet. Okay. It's all pent up farts popping out when you cut it. She probably held her farts in on dates. Now they're coming out when we're cutting it open.
Okay. The stomach is full of fluid and unidentified organic matter, which is probably leftover food.
Yuck.
So let's check the diatoms. Again. But in a centrifuge for a change. The problem with examining drowned people is being able to show whether the death was due to drowning or whether something else contributed to the death. Cramp, heart attack, drugs, homicide, or some accident. Such an analysis requires viewing from different angles and a careful interpretation of the collected data, including those from the field. That's why it's so important to collect as many samples as possible. Unfortunately.
Dude, you talk so much. Save it for some therapy, man. Dang. Okay, I'm kind of scared to go out here. Okay. Hello. Office. Okay. All right. Okay. So what are we testing? Well, let's see.
Okay, this is one last little sample.
Ooh, that's a lot of... Okay.
Set.
Okay, so set the correct valves on both dials and start mixing. Okay, but... What is it? What are we... Oh, 35, 25. Okay. That 35, 25? Maybe. Okay. $35 and 25, right? Okay. Righto.
Done. I'll run it directly into the chromatograph and run it against the data from the police.
Okay.
I'm certain the analysis will show similarities between the fluid and water in Chelsea's well.
Those donuts have been there for weeks. I think time to throw those out. Okay. Be nice, ghosties. Right.
Let me think. 3 milliliters should be fine.
Should it? Okay. Okay. Three millimeters should be fine.
Okay, now it's the chromatograph's turn.
Place the collect sample into the... Oh. Okay. Right.
Yes. The water sample matches the one provided by the police.
Okay.
Well, the results are quite clear. I was hoping it would be a more interesting case.
Not me. Okay. Okay.
More diatoms. Analysis indicates the same origin. Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay.
There's little left to do. I'm going to check the airway patency of the deceased. Interesting. Looks like there's something stuck in the trachea. I'm moving to the board for further inspection.
How do you tell that? I don't see anything stuck in here. Wait a minute. Maybe. Okay. Hold on.
I dissect the trachea and open the organ.
Right. Okay.
Inside, I find a wedding ring. This is interesting. Let me look at it. Based on the size, I can say that it's a woman's wedding ring, quite standard from the outside. There's an engraving inside.
Yeah, 19...
What the fuck? But this is my ring.
Yeah.
Alice's ring. But how did it... But this should be at home. I have it. At home. It's... I have to check this out. Where are my meds?
Calm down.
Where the fuck are my meds? Must have been
What?
nothing.
What?
Jesus Christ! Hope these all make it go away. I have to check the apartment. It can't be.
Oh boy. Okay. Just leaving the lady there? Harper Lloyd? Okay.
Mr. Ridley. Mr. Ridley!
What's all the ruckus?
I need to go home. Immediately.
What? Now?
I have to. Have you seen anyone here this morning? Anybody suspicious?
Oh, there was no one. Dorothy was, but only for a moment, then she left. What's wrong with you, Hammond?
Okay. Thanks.
What about the corpse?
I'll come back, I promise.
Remember to sign in, Hammond. Yeah, we don't do that, I guess. Okay, let's go home.
Jesus Christ!
You want to wash up first, or... No, apparently not.
I have to check this out.
Can you drive? Oh. Is the door open? Is it locked? We'll see.
This... Please be there. It can't be your wedding ring. It's not here. It's not. I need to go.
Call Steven. Relax. Should I take my pills? Can we take the pills? Where's... Yeah, right here. Can we take them? You should. No? Okay.
This is sick. Fuck. Come on, Steven. Pick up the fucking phone.
Hey. What's up, man?
They took the ring.
What? What ring? What are you talking about?
They took the wedding ring. Alice's wedding ring.
One sec. You mean burglary? You said nothing was missing.
Yes, I know that. I don't know. I was jittery. Maybe I didn't notice. I don't know, but that's not the worst of it.
Calm down, Jack. Breathe. What happened?
I found it in the trachea of the deceased I was working on. Do you understand? I pulled it out of a dead woman's trachea.
What?
I don't know what's going on. You think Red Pete wants revenge? He's playing with me. Huh? I knew it. I knew it from the beginning this was going to happen. I didn't make it up!
Jack, listen to me. Try to calm down. Don't leave the apartment. I'll be with you right away, okay? I'm on my way.
What sane person would do something like that? Fucking Ridley lets in whoever he likes as usual. What are you saying? Steven? Don't leave me, man. Come on. Fuck. Oh, God, what now? Okay, I need a drink.
Yeah, okay. Hold on, buddy. Okay.
Jesus. What's going on?
Pills and drinks don't mix. Is anything in there? Sounds like.
Just one sip more. Yep. Jesus.
Don't throw up.
Yep. Okay.
Wow. One drink, he passed out. Okay. Chapter 3.
These reports will kill me one day. It's time to go to work.
Alright, guys, that was chapter 2. So, yeah, somebody, let's see, is that ring there? No, it is not. So, yeah, we gotta find out who took the ring. Was it Red Pete? Is he screwing around with us, with our mind, trying to drive us insane? Or did we imagine that? Did we not have the ring in the first place? Don't know. So many questions. So many questions. I hope you guys enjoyed Chapter 2 of Autopsy Simulator. And we will be back to see what happens to Jack. And if Stevens is on our side or if he's a part of the whole thing, working with Red Pete. So many possibilities, guys. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed. And yes, enjoy the rest of your weekend. On that note, later for now.